All right. All right, welcome, everyone. We're going to call the Board of Commissioners January 17th, 2024 meeting to order. If we all rise for invocation, and Commissioner Hanson, would you please give the invocation?
Our precious Heavenly Father, we just thank you for the opportunity to come and voice our many things to the county's needs. And Father, we pray that you will just watch over us. And we just pray that you will give us safety on the roads and travel on our way home and everything. We just thank you for the many blessings that you've given us this past year. We pray that you will bless us in the future here. Servant.
Amen. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Bosworth, would you do the roll call, please?
Commissioner Barnes.
Here.
Commissioner Mulder.
Here.
Commissioner Augustine.
Here.
Commissioner Haskell.
Here.
Commissioner Pearl Wright.
Here.
Commissioner Youngquist.
Here.
Commissioner Moudry.
Here.
Commissioner Brayler.
Here.
Commissioner Drosha.
Here.
Commissioner Toomey.
Here.
Commissioner Hanson.
Here.
Commissioner Lotzenheiser.
Here.
Commissioner Holmes.
Here.
Commissioner Rogers. Chairman Mott.
Here. Are there any agenda additions or changes?
No, sir.
Okay. Moved by Commissioner Lotzenheiser, supported by Commissioner Rogers. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have the minutes. Moved by Commissioner Lotzenheiser, supported by Commissioner DeRocha. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have the first round of communications. If you, or no, that's limited public comment.
There are no communications.
Yeah, no communications, all right. All right, next up, we have the retirement resolution. We'd like to move, we have one resolution.
I'll move it.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner DeRocha, supported by Commissioner Hanson. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? All right, it's actually Timothy Doss, Deputy Doss is retiring, so I am going to read the resolution. He's not here this evening. Whereas Timothy Dost will be retiring from Eaton County on January 31st, 2024, and whereas Timothy worked in the Sheriff's Office from January 11th, 1999, and is retiring with 25 years of service, and whereas Timothy has provided dedicated and honorable service to the residents and employees of Eaton County, and whereas the Eaton County Board of Commissioners seeks to recognize and express appreciation for Timothy's years of public service. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners expresses its sincere gratitude for the years of exceptional service Timothy provided to Eaton County. And be it further resolved that the resolution of appreciation and support be duly recorded and attached to the permanent records of the county on this 17th day of the month of January in the year 2024. Thank you, Timothy. All right. Now, we have limited public comment, and if you'd like to approach, address the board, you can walk up to the podium, and you have about 3 minutes. And just a reminder, this is not an interaction, it's just your comment.
Super, thank you. Hello, my name is Eric DeYoung. I'm with Naderveld, a Michigan-based surveying, engineering, and land planning company. I'm here tonight on behalf of the family that owns approximately 235 acres on Cochrane Road, just north of I-69, south of Charlotte. Part of the property is in Carmel Township, and part of it is in Eaton Township. One of the matters that you are considering tonight is an additional step toward adopting a new master plan. Included in the master plan is a future land use map which casts the community's vision for what uses are imagined for certain areas of the county. In the area just north of I-69 on Cochrane Road, the draft future land use map designates the area for general business use. This designation includes a preference for large-scale regional commercial uses such as automobile-related services, restaurants, and large shopping centers. This type of use seems incompatible with the surrounding agricultural area and the family group that feels that a commercial designation is the wrong designation. Instead, they feel an industrial designation would be far more compatible with the needs and the desires of the community. We understand the surrounding communities have strong roots in agriculture, and agricultural preservation is of high importance. Placing hotels, big box stores, and restaurants next to farmland with the associated dust and noise and odors seems out of step with an otherwise strong master plan. An industrial future land use designation for this area would be far more compatible with the area and would serve the community for several reasons. The MEDC, LEAP, and all other economic agencies in Michigan are constantly getting requests from companies who desire to locate, manufacture here, but cannot find readily available land. Contiguous sites of over 100 acres are especially in demand, and there are almost no industrial zone parcels in Michigan of more than 50 acres on a Class A road and access to the interstate. LEAP has engaged with a record number of companies in the past year and a half, and their data show more interest in Michigan from companies than ever before, especially in the mobility sector. These companies and the jobs they bring would serve as an economic driver for the community. The product type, and with particularly high demand, is in high-tech manufacturing, warehousing, and distribution. As America continues to reshore manufacturing, industrial land is the most needed property type now and will be for the next few decades. These facilities are a far cry from what some of our impressions of industrial manufacturing. These are clean, highly automated facilities with extremely good working environments. The jobs modern manufacturing bring are solid, high-paying career opportunities in contrast to some of the jobs that come with strip malls and big box retail. While industrial sites do need to accommodate trucks, the site is perfectly located next to I-69, and the amount of congestion, traffic, and urban sprawl would be significantly reduced in contrast to commercial uses. An industrial use for the area furthers the general goals articulated in the very draft master plan. Goal 2 talks about focusing development in areas with the capacity to support new industrial development. The subject site checks all the boxes to support industry. Goal 3 discusses the desire to preserve the county's agricultural legacy. Industrial uses are far more compatible with farming than the commercial. Goal 5 focuses on supporting the growth of new and existing businesses and working with LEAP on business attraction. LEAP's market data is clear that businesses are most hungry for industrial opportunities. There is an excess supply of commercial and office. Goal 6 talks about improving and updating infrastructure, including roads, utilities, and broadband connectivity. An industrial presence in this area would be a powerful catalyst for these types of improvements. In short, truck stops, big box stores, the typical commercial interchange uses do not preserve the fabric of small towns. Modern industrial sites will be a much better neighbors in the area and will serve as an economic engine for the county for years to come, supporting the existing historic downtown Charlotte rather than encouraging commercial sprawl away from it. We understand your action tonight will likely open a window of review with the townships and with the Planning Commission, and we hope to continue to be a part of the conversation in that window. And before the 2024 master plan is adopted, we ask that stakeholders and leadership in the community reconsider the general business zoning designation and explore the opportunities for industrial uses in this area. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Seeing none, we're going to move on to committee reports and resolutions. First up, we have Health and Human Services with Commissioner Lotzenheiser.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We just have one action item, and that is to fill 2 different spots of open committees. And Dr. Paula Jensen, who is here, was nominated to take both seats on the CEI Community Health Mental Health Board and also the Collaborative Council, and I would so move.
Moved by Commissioner Lotzenheiser, supported by Commissioner Toomey. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Very good. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Lotzenheiser. Next up is Public Safety Committee with Commissioner Barnes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have 2 action items tonight from our public safety meeting on January 11th, 2024. First resolution I'll get into, it's the resolution approving Eaton County Emergency Management Multi-Year Strategic Plan. It's there in front of you, but basically in summary, they're trying to identify gaps that can be addressed for the 2024-2025 emergency management vision plan. This was through Ryan Wilkerson and Ella Gardner, the emergency management specialist. Basically, it's pretty lengthy. It's in the public safety. You can read it from page 24 to 51. But there's really just 6 main goals in that plan, and that was 1, strengthen community engagement, 2, reinforce planning efforts, 3, ensure ability to support response, 4, coordinate multi-hazard training and exercises, 5, improve capabilities for prevention activities, and 6, achieve a deeper comprehension and understanding. So basically, just trying to have a plan for the 2024-25 year, and I would so move it.
Moved by Commissioner Barnes, supported by Commissioner Haskell. Is there any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
All right, thank you. Last one here, resolution to approve the Oakland County Incident Management Team interlocal agreement. In summary of this, it's basically a support mechanism for Eaton County. Ryan Wilkinson would like to, will coordinate and collaborate with Oakland County for incident management team. Basically helps with incidents like emergencies, disasters, catastrophic events, things as such. And I would like to move that.
Moved by Commissioner Barnes, supported by Commissioner Holmes. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
All right, thank you. And just lastly, just a few notes, just prayers out to Eaton County officers, all that were involved in the officer-involved shooting on January 11th. Keep them in our prayers. And also would like to talk about warming centers real quick. If there's someone in need of a warming center, you can dial 211. And I was wondering to myself tonight, I don't know if that actually works, so I called it tonight. And it does work. I talked to a gentleman named Jay, and he told me about 3 or 4 warming centers within my area, where I live. So, yeah, just dial 211, and they will help you as far as finding warming centers if anyone needs that information. That's it. Stay safe, stay warm. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Barnes. That's some good information. We appreciate it. All right, moving on to Infotech and Communications with Commissioner DeRosa.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Information Technology and Communications did not meet in the month of January, so I have no report.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have Public Works and Planning with Commissioner Rogers.
I think we had a rather interesting meeting. The Drain Commissioner was there and discussed with us about inter-county drainage district coming up in Delta Township. And this drain has been there for a long time, and it's got to be updated. And what I found unbelievable is that at the time of the development of Delta Township, there was houses even built over this county drain. And they all got to go to take care of this water situation. And I just, so I think it was very interesting, and the public wishing to learn more about, let me view Public Works and Planning on your YouTube video from January the 10th. We did have one resolution, and it was to reserve the right to final approval for the 2024 Eaton County Master Plan. And I move that resolution.
Moved by Commissioner Rogers, supported by Commissioner Pearl Wright. Any questions or comments? Commissioner Augustine.
Yeah, my apologies. I was unable to attend Public Works and Planning on Wednesday, so just curious, the way I read this is that, well, what does this resolution do?
So the resolution allows the plan to go to the Planning Commission for final approval if no changes are made. If there's any change, including just a period, then it would have to come back to the Board of Commissioners for final approval.
So if we vote to approve this resolution, then what we would be doing would be giving the Planning Commission the right to approve the master plan without it coming back here for our final approval.
Yes, as it is currently written. No changes.
I figured that you probably did. I always miss the good ones, apparently. Okay.
In a nutshell, my concise takeaway was, again, to repeat, if there are no changes, this saves them time as far as coming back. If there's any change at all, it's back to us.
No changes, I guess just to clarify, if I may, that no changes from the existing plan that is in place or no changes from a draft plan?
The draft plan.
So they've been working on this since August, and they've gone out to all the townships and communities and had focus groups and meetings and stuff on this. So they've been working for quite a long time on this. So obviously, there are two ways they can go about it. We can do the final decision after they're done, or if there's no changes, just be done with it. We send it back to them, they approve it, and it's done. But like I said during the meeting, it's entirely up to the board what you want to do. So I will, full disclosure, I made that decision to bring to the committee because they've already been doing all the work, and it's already done. But like I said, there can't be any changes to it, obviously. Commissioner Rocha.
Given our presentation at public comments, and I'm not sure if the speaker was speaking of Carmel Township side or Eaton Township side of Cochrane, but should that be reviewed again to see if that would be appropriate? And if so, what kind of appeals process is there before the final decision is made?
Brandy, would you approach the podium, please?
So what the Board of Commissioners is considering this evening is to send the draft master plan out for the 63-day review. I have spoken with Mr. DeYoung last week and this evening as well. He is aware that his public comment is a perfect example of the review period. It's a comment that would go to the Planning Commission and Carmel and Eaton Township. He is speaking to both sides of the township. So that information will be taken back to Eaton and Carmel Township as well for consideration. If the townships and the Planning Commission choose to make the changes as requested by Mr. DeYoung, it automatically would come back to the Board of Commissioners for final approval. If there are no changes to the draft master plan as it is written and as it is currently on our website, then the Planning Commission would reserve the final rights of approval.
Thank you.
Any questions for Brandy?
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Haskell.
So to clarify, there will be opportunities for the public to make presentations like this.
Absolutely.
Okay, and they could bring their stakeholders in from the townships, whatever else.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Augustine.
Okay, so I thought maybe I missed the master plan in the Public Works packet, but I see that was not in the packet, so I didn't miss the plan in the packet. It's not in our packet tonight. I'm never in favor of giving up our responsibility and right to final approval of a plan. I mean, the authority lies with us. We appoint the Planning Commission. This is something that I would not be in support of. I don't know why we would want to do that we as a body are the ones charged with making this decision. And so it's my position that we should not give up our right just to fast track it for, I don't know, 30 days or whatever. So I would be opposed to this and think that this body should think very carefully before giving up this responsibility that we have as a body. So that would be my position.
Any other comments? Commissioner Toomey?
Yeah, I would also like to see this just come back here for final approval, and as well, Commissioner Augustine, it is in the 2024 board meeting folder if you do want to view the plan. It's just in a weird spot, but I had trouble finding it first, too.
Any other comments?
Why is it in another spot? Why is it not in the packet where everything else is?
There was an email that went out to all the commissioners with the actual link to the plan. It was in Public Works and Planning as a link in the summary report provided by Brandy and Chris. So that's why.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
but
No, you're fine.
Regardless of whether it was or wasn't, I don't agree with the idea. I don't agree with the idea that we give up our ability to approve the plan. I just think that's not acting as the leaders that we've been elected to be.
Commissioner Lotzenheiser?
And we all felt the same way in subcommittee. As far as my understanding is we're not giving it, and believe me, if the consensus here, I'm not going to die on this hill, okay? So truly, I'm just trying to let you see the other side of what we've discussed, is that at the end of the day, we're not giving anything up. I understand the optics, fully understand that, but we're not giving anything up because unless there's changes to be made, there's nothing we're giving up, because if there's anything changed, we are the final say. So I don't even really see as we're giving anything up. But again, I totally agree kind of how Chairman Mott has indicated all along. He said it this way in subcommittee. If this body's not comfortable with this, then we don't do it. Okay? Then we don't do it. So, but yeah, it's an odd, strange sequence. Why do this? And yes, I agree with your analysis. It'd probably save 30 days. I mean, that's the end of the day. So any counterpoint to that, I'm welcome to hear it, but.
Commissioner Toomey?
I say we go with, Terrence, I will be voting with Commissioner Augustine. I mean, it's a 20-year master plan. You can wait 30 days. Let's do it right, so.
Commissioner Brayler?
I was one of the people who spoke essentially against this idea at the committee meeting. I ultimately voted for it, and we come here. Essentially, the reason that I did was that in voting tonight, we're approving the plan. So if there are no changes, and if the gentleman's request is accommodated, that's certainly a change. It would come back here. So the idea that we aren't the last voice, we are, from the standpoint that in approving it tonight, minus any changes after the period that's available to the public to respond to it, the plan goes forward. So, again, I'm like Brian, I was hesitant the other day. I'm not jumping up and down and suggesting that it's important to be done tonight, but at the end of the day, we either approve the plan that is, either way, we will approve the plan that is put into effect. If there are no changes, we've approved it tonight. If there are changes, it'll come back to us, and then theoretically, we can do whatever we want to do with it, so.
Commissioner Haskell?
So I guess my comment was a question along the same lines of what Commissioner Brayler was just talking about. Do we have to approve something tonight to pass it over to the Planning Commission?
So you would have to at least make a motion, if we don't pass this, to the plan for a 63-day review period to the Planning Commission. So you would just, a simple motion to do that.
Okay, because I was thinking we could strike if any changes are made to the current draft and forward in the last therefore, but if that's easier, then I think that's the motion I would like to make.
Commissioner Toomey.
On this one first.
I think there's a motion on the floor, so I just like to call the question.
Okay.
There is a motion for the resolution that was presented. Commissioner Rogers, and then supported by Commissioner Pearl Wright.
All those in favor?
I
was waiting for the against.
Want to do a roll call? Do
Can we try that again?
you want to do a roll
How
call?
about you just do a roll call vote?
Yeah, all right, that works.
How about I call for that?
That's embarrassing, Jesus.
Commissioner Barnes,
No.
Commissioner Mulder,
No.
Commissioner Augustine,
No.
Commissioner Haskell,
No.
Commissioner Pearl, no. Commissioner Youngquist, Commissioner Mudry,
No.
Commissioner Brayler,
To be consistent, I'll vote yes.
Commissioner Drosha,
No.
Commissioner Toomey,
No.
Commissioner Hanson. No. Commissioner Lotzenheiser.
He was a no. He was a no.
It's a no.
Commissioner Holmes,
Yes.
Commissioner Rogers,
Yes.
Commissioner,
Actually, the controller reminds me that I was the only one that voted against it the other day, so I'll vote no now. I thought I voted for it.
Commissioner,
I'm getting old.
On this topic, then, what is our time, are we under any time constraints to get this done and submitted to anyone?
Well, you now would have to make a motion to release the plan for the 60-day review period, so
I
that
would
would
make that motion.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Did.
moved by Commissioner Haskell, supported by Commissioner Lotzenheiser. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
And that completes my report.
All right. Does that conclude your report, Commissioner Rogers?
Yes, I said that completes
Oh,
my
okay,
report.
all right. Missed that. All right, now we're moving on to Ways and Means Committee. Commissioner Mulder.
Let's get into something easy. The first one is a borrowing resolution, and this is basically housekeeping. We do this every year, even though it's got dozens and dozens of pages on it that no one's ever read. I would move it. Except the lawyers.
I'll still support it, and I have.
Moved by Commissioner Mulder, supported by Commissioner DeRosa, or Brayler. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Vote for it in the committee, too.
Back on track.
Ryan,
All right, the next one is our, the resolution authorizing agreements for remonumentation surveyors for the 2024 year. And this is Mr. Lester's progress, and he's getting to the end, and I would move it.
Moved by Commissioner Mulder, supported by Commissioner Pearl Wright. Any questions, comments? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
The next one is the contract for the remonumentation, and I would move that.
Moved by Commissioner Mulder, supported by Commissioner DeRosa. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
I would add that we've been working on this for a long time, and we actually are reaching a point where it's going to be complete. But as technology's moved ahead, they have to go back to all the points that they've pounded into the ground on every one of the section corners and have to now follow up with the geo coordinates for that spot. So the work will continue even after all the pins are in the ground on the section corners. We'll have to come back and get the satellite spot where those pins are. But I think progress is being made. The next one is our budget amendments. And the first one involves personnel change. And I think it's important that we describe what this is about. And I'm going to let Connie do that, if you would, please.
Sure. So previously, when I took over, I requested that the board approve the hiring of an HR director and a finance director to establish the office in a different manner so we could focus on HR more specific and finance specific. What I found over the last year is that the county does need a deputy director. We want to look at succession planning, a deputy administrator, sorry, succession planning. So the request to the committee was, Ways and Means Committee and to the board, is to promote Ben Dawson, our HR director, as the deputy administrator, and the HR director as well. He'll maintain that role, and give him the authority to do the things in my absence and to also continue the county if, I get hit by a bus. That's what we always say in our office. So that's what that request is.
We're going to have a motion first.
I make the motion that we have Ben Dawson
Do-
as
No.
Let me just talk about the Second Amendment unless you want to do them separate, but there is a
Second
Second
Amendment,
Amendment.
really?
Oh, my God.
Sorry, I couldn't help
Thank
it.
you, yes.
Okay, let's do the motion. Let's move them both for the budget amendments, and then we can talk about what they are. So I'll move the budget amendments, and you may, yeah. Okay, now we can talk about the particular ones, and the first one dealing with Mr. Dawson.
The second one, just to note, is to have a chest compression system for the sheriff's department in the county jail. And that's just for the safety of the inmates.
And on an easy note, I'll just add to that, that's a really cool thing that these compression, if even practicing that compression, it's tiresome, you've got to really keep on it, and it's difficult. They have a machine that actually takes right over and does the compressions, and it really is a time saver and with much better outcomes for the patient, as I understand.
So just to reiterate, we got a motion on the floor with Commissioner Mulder and a second by Youngquist? Okay. I knew it was over here somewhere. So, okay.
All right.
Questions, comments? Toomey, Commissioner Toomey.
Yeah, I just have a question about the Deputy Administrator, Human Resources Director position, like the name updates that. How often is it that those roles are combined? In my work with other cities and counties at the state anyways, I very rarely see these two positions combined as one. I could be a product of who I've been working with, but how common is that?
Well, previously, that was my role. We just called it Deputy Controller Administrator, so that was the role that I was serving. So we wanted to actually ensure that we had a dedicated HR professional, which is what we did. So now we would just like to have someone who's going to back up my position, which Ben Dawson has been doing that over the last year since he started work with us.
Has Ben already been with us for a year?
March.
Wow, congratulations.
Commissioner Brayler.
Well, I think realistically, these, and I indicated this the other day, I think these are should be two separate positions. I think HR was something that the county badly needed, a dedicated individual to that department, and I think it still does. And especially in today's day and age, it's important to have a strong HR department for a number of reasons, both for the administration, but also for the employees. I also recognize that given all of the complexities, and this is going to be a very busy year, a difficult year, and the horizon is not particularly promising after 2024 at this point, that it's important that there be a deputy assisting our controller going forward. The reality is, we don't have the money right now to establish two positions. As the controller has indicated, Mr. Dawson has already essentially been serving in both functions since he started. And so we're recognizing that. And so I think under the circumstances of our financial situation, it is the most imprudent thing that we can do and would urge you all to support it.
Any other comments, questions?
I would add that during the Ways and Means meeting, a majority of our department heads came up and indicated that they were in favor of this restructuring. And I agree with Commissioner Brailer. I think he put it succinctly and correctly. But Mr. Dawson has been, in fact, acting as a deputy controller. And we've been doing a disservice in not recognizing that. So at this point, I think I'm comfortable recognizing the work that he's been doing.
Very good. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
And I would move that we pay the bills and claims.
Moved by Commissioner Mulder, supported by Commissioner DeRosa. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Commissioner Mulder. Moving on to our second limited public comment. If there's anyone that wants to address the board, please approach the podium. Seeing none, we're going to move on. Administrator's report.
So normally when I give my report, I just talk to you a little bit. This time I wanted to actually provide you a detailed report of what all of what we call department heads or department directors are doing. Those are not elected office positions, but we just wanted to let you know how your county government is functioning. So I gave you a detailed list. Each department, we met yesterday, had a great meeting talking about all of the accomplishments and what meant the most to each of the departments and to the county. So that's the list you have in front of you. This is exactly 1 year since I was appointed. I took over on January 17th, 2023, so it's been 1 year. I know, it's gone so quickly. So I did start reminiscing on everything that we've been doing in the county, which has been a lot, and a lot more than what you'll see listed here, but these are just accomplishments that we all agreed were noteworthy. So I also want to note that although this does not include your elected officials, the county clerk and register of deeds, prosecutor, the sheriff, the treasurer, drain commissioner, and then the trial courts, we have a great way of communicating with them that we've really strived over the last year to work together with the officials. I can't provide you everything that they've been doing, but I can tell you that they've achieved a lot during this busy year, and their departments work incredibly hard through difficult times and with minimal staffing at times. Related to the department directors, those accomplishments that are listed in the information that I provided, it's done. They're able to do this work because the board has empowered me to create this team and the team environment. So for that, I appreciate you all very much. Each department has taken on challenge after challenge, head on. They continue to work forward into the future. The other part that I really wanted to focus on is that the professional level of service that you receive is top-notch. When I consider the county operations, I know the county's in good hands because of the work that they do. And I also know that they are all, every one of them, planning for succession into the future so that the county moves forward without this gap in service for a period of time. So, wonderful people. Great jobs, very professional, and I'm very lucky to work with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Controller Sobey. And I want to just add that putting this list together of all the departments and what they do is was a very smart idea for us. We get a lot of stuff that comes across our desk, and it's kind of a learn as you go what all these departments do and all their roles and stuff. So having a bullet point of everything they do for some of the new people and some of the people that haven't dealt with these offices. So it's a good, very good idea to put this out there, and we thank you for that. All right, we have some unfinished business. Do we have any?
No, sir.
Okay, moving on. Old business
No, sir.
and new business.
No, sir.
All right, that concludes this meeting. We are adjourned till.
Chair.
Oh,
Commissioner comment?
did I really? Oh, I thought we had that earlier.
Hey, listen, I have one thing to say.
Commissioner comment.
Go Lions. That's it.
That was worth waiting for.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, all right, now we're adjourned till February 21st.
Is that a Maple Valley hat?
I repurposed it.
As you should.
I want to thank